Hey, what's up guys? My name is Victor and welcome to my YouTube page, which is all about helping people navigate their spiritual ascension process. And today's video is going to be the June 2016 energy update. I believe this is going to be an interesting month for a lot of you. You know, we've all been sort of making progress towards this coming shift that we all sort of have a sense of. It's a faint sense. It's a sense that we question from time to time. We all have this sort of a knowing, this deep longing, this deep knowing that something is coming, something big is about to happen. And I think we all know what that is. So I think we all at this point are fairly aware that we are raising our vibration to match that of the earth, which is raising its vibration so it can shift into a new dimension. And from my perspective, this is exactly what is in fact going down. And it's sort of a paradox. On one hand, we are kind of being brought with the earth. We are already, most of us, especially people like you watching this video, are at a very high vibration, relatively speaking, to most of humanity, and you are kind of going along with it. But at the same time, even though you have come a far way, you are required to make a prerequisite shift. I've come to call it something I've made within myself, and I've noticed that a lot of people are starting to come into a place where they're being kind of asked to make this preliminary shift. This shift into a state of empowerment. And I talk about this as a fundamental theme in a lot of my videos because that is what is really being asked of you. That's why you're experiencing such challenges, such degrees of negativity and confusion and chaos. It's so you can just finally, for the first time in your life, take complete ownership of every facet of your life, because that is a required state of being for the fourth density reality. We've all had two aspects of ourselves. We've been sort of oscillating between the ego self and our true self. Many of us tend to unfortunately get fewer glimpses of our true self and be spending a lot of time in this heightened ego structure. But listen, this heightened ego structure cannot come, okay? And for it not to come requires you to again step into a complete state of total self-empowerment. And that is what I believe this month, as well as the summer in general, is going to allow you to do. It's going to provide you with the framework, the circumstances, the synchronicity, the perception of reality, all the different things required for you to make this inner shift, which is so simple and yet hard to do, because it's easy for us to take ownership of most things in our life. We can admit that most things in our life are within our control, but there are these reservations, there are these things within our consciousness that we say, well, I all of it but this, maybe not this. And I'm sorry, you will have to own everything. You cannot play the victim at all. You have to come into the awareness that you chose everything. All your challenges, all your bad things in your life have a reason. And they're all, again, designed to help empower you. And I'm going to go over in this video the way I suspect this might play out for you, and as well as give you some sort of sense of guidance so you can make this shift this summer or this month. So now I'm going to break down this month of June into 4 different segments, okay? Segment 1 is going to pertain to a very noticeable acceleration of your manifestation, of your instant manifestation of whatever's swirling around your consciousness. You're going to see mirrored in your external reality in a much more dreamlike state. You're going to perhaps experience things that don't make a lot of logical sense. We're very close to this fourth dimensional or this fourth density reality, and as a result, things are more fluid, things are more instant. It's not so progressive and logical. So you might have experiences that seem to you very dreamlike, very wow, I'm actually experiencing this in my literal reality. I can't believe this. So that's sort of like the setting you're going to be working with, okay? And this is good, and it's kind of challenging. It's good because you get to receive more instant feedback, instant data for what you're harboring. What you're harboring within is not going to be easy to keep unconscious because it's all over the place. It's all over your real world, and you're going to see it. You're going to experience it very quickly, instantly, obviously, and it's going to be in your face. And the things that you know you should be getting rid of, the things you need to let go of, the things you need to deal with are going to be happening a lot. You're going to see them in the form of synchronicity, negative synchronicity, which is a relatively new concept to a lot of people, and yet I believe a lot of you are coming into a place where you will experience it, and that is where when you're harboring something misaligned within your being, you experience it as like a negative pattern, a negative synchronicity, something that keeps coming up, that some kind of physical object or any sort of external representation is going to mirror to you this thing. And it's not going to mirror you flowers and roses and flower petals. It's going to be like something that bugs you, like, oh, wow, yuck, I don't want this sort of thing, okay? And you have to deal with it. You have to find out why these are happening. At the same time, all the progress you've made is going to be mirrored in your world too. It's everything. It's no longer like being decided by anything external what you experience. It's whatever you are, wherever you stand is going to be all over the place, and you're going to have to deal with what's there. And part two, which is going to be important within what I just said, is you're going to be asked to finally take ownership of all this stuff. None of your baggage is going to go away all by itself. You're going to have to deal with it, address it, let go of it, heal it, etc. And this instant manifestation you're going to be experiencing is going to allow you to kind of see what's there a lot more quickly. And this can be a little bit overwhelming because you might be surprised at how much is there, you know? And it's going to be a lot of deep, dark stuff being mirrored in your reality that you're not going to want to face. A lot of it you're going to think is too much. It's you're going to long to like jump around it or over it, but you can't. This is the month where you're really going to make a choice. Are you going to take ownership of all this stuff, or are you going to keep waiting? If you keep waiting, you're going to keep suffering. You're going to keep experiencing all this negative synchronicity in your life that will not go away until you finally rise up and take ownership of it. But you're going to do that because here's like the caveat. No one is going to get to this level of their awakening and just crumble. You might feel that way. You might feel like, why? What is this? I'm done. I'm checking out. This is bullshit. I've had enough. This is getting way too real, way too much, and I cannot go on another second. Stop it. I want to die. I want to get out of here. I want to just leap back into wherever I came. What was I thinking? But even though you're going to have those periods, maybe, some of you, you're going to get over it, you're going to relax about it, and then you're finally just going to keep trudging along like you've always done, like you've been doing this entire time. You've had these moments. You've had these moments of doubt, these moments of self-questioning, these moments of where you just feel like your world is falling apart, and yet here you are watching another video on another day. Tomorrow's another day. You're going to keep going, putting one foot in front of the other. And it's not because I'm telling you to. It's not because I'm motivating you. It's because that's who you are. You're motivating yourself. You have what it takes. And therefore you will continue to go forward. Regardless of what happens, you are ready. But I'm kind of giving you an idea of what you might expect to deal with. Expect yourself to have moments of doubt. It's okay. Expect to feel off your game at times as your ego takes you over temporarily. Expect to have challenges that are constantly pushing you to your absolute beyond what you think your limits are, but they're actually your real limits. And this, in overcoming this and going through this as you will come to immaculate degrees of self-confidence, unwavering self-confidence, a sense of pride. Your aura will emanate wisdom, power, experience, strength, courage, and love, grace, peace, harmony, compassion, clarity, lightness, ease. It's going to be a wild month. You're going to experience a culmination of all your ego bullshit mirrored in your world, and you'll have to deal with it, and you will deal with it. And as you deal with the different components of it, you will experience on a very visceral level the release of that. You will feel, the weight has been lifted. You will feel it. It won't be a figure of speech in your mind. You will experience a weight being lifted as you deal with this. And in absence of this ego structure, these little components that you are just going to be sifting through and letting go this month, you will have periods of like, oh my God, this really is something that's happening. I've come so far. You look back and be amazed at how you were, and at who you were, and how you thought about things, and the way you perceived reality compared to now, how you are. You're feeling enlightened, for real, really. You're feeling amazing. Your heart is emanating passion, compassion, enthusiasm, love, bliss, and you will feel unstoppable. You'll know that there is something happening with you. You'll know that you really are awakening. And this is what it actually feels like. And then it'll happen again. What's going to happen is you're going to have these intermittent periods where you're feeling like I just described, and then what's going to happen is your ego stuff, because everything's coming out, everything's out in the open now. You're going to have these little seeds of doubt bubbling up, these seeds of fear, these seeds of anxiety, these seeds of like, oh great, but what about this? Shit, I overlooked this, and this changes everything. It stops the process, and you kind of sink back into your doubt, and you're like, and then you look around, and there's those negative synchronicities again. Oh geez, here we go again. And yeah, here you go again. Another layer where you'll have to go through that phase of like the saying goodbye to your awesome state of being that was once there, and now you're back in this. You kind of almost forgot about what that felt like, because now you're so consumed with all the other crap going on in your life, and you got to deal with it. At first it's a little bit of a mystery. You have to wonder, why am I feeling this? Why am I projecting this? What does this mean? What am I holding on to? Go through your process, do your meditation, your yoga, whatever it takes you to bring all this out into your conscious awareness, so you can say, aha, that's what it is. Epiphany, aha moment, light bulb moment. Oh my God. Unbelievable. You've been holding on to this. You've been carrying it around. And now you can let it go. Oh! And then you're back to the grace and the amazing feeling you had. And this will go on until you make the shift. And when you make this shift I'm talking about, it's not like anything really changes. Only your decision of how you manage it and deal with it. Because once you make this shift into your self-empowerment, this process will still play out, but you just won't really care. You won't really get too bogged down by your bad days. You'll say, okay, it's a bad day, it's gonna go away. You'll be just much more detached, because there won't be, it's in giving our power away and hoping something changes, something just happens to us, that what leaves us in a state of waiting. That takes us out of the now. That projects our enlightened and happy and blissful state into the future. And that's just a perpetual thing that you'll never catch up to, ever, until you say, I'm in the now. I control what happens to me. There is nothing out of my control. If I don't like something, I will change it. And that's going to be your new attitude. You will still experience unconscious, little unsettling traumas and beliefs in your life that come up to your conscious awareness, are temporarily mirrored in your reality. But instead of being going into such drama and, oh my God, you're going to be more like, okay, been down this road before. I'll go sit down. I'll look into this. Okay, it's this. I'll let that one go. And you won't have the, oh geez, I hope that never happens again. You won't have these like immature little like childish desires. You'll be more mature, you'll be more adult-like, however old you are, okay? You'll be more like, okay, more grounded, more secure. You will have developed a ridiculous amount of confidence having gone through what I just described, so nothing that's going to come up is really going to floor you anymore. Again, you're coming into a degree of self-empowerment, a degree of confidence that nothing can take away. You'll be totally detached from the ascension process that's going to continue on until we make this jump. And then who knows what's going to happen after that? We don't know. Maybe it'll be just a lighter version of this unfoldment we're going through. No one really knows. But there is something coming, and this is required. You must step into your own power. You must stop projecting your happiness and your enlightenment into the future as something that's going to come and happen to you. You must take responsibility for every little thing in your life, good and bad. And you don't have to be negatively impacted by anything. You have the power to choose how you are affected by your world. You can't really change what's happening in this collective reality that we're sharing right now. okay? But you can choose how much fear you harbor, which will influence on how you perceive it, and then therefore how it affects you. If you come into this state of empowerment I'm talking about, which you will, it will not matter what's happening to you. You will not need to get out of here. You will not need the world to change because you will have changed in such a way, in such a degree, such a phenomenal degree that, again, you will not care what happens. You will see it as part of the grand unfoldment of the whole that is benefiting everybody to the maximum potential. Be strong. Be who you know yourself to be in every given moment that you're aware of your choice to do so. Sometimes you'll slip in unconsciousness, but you'll get it back and stay there. So, okay, I'm back. And more and more and more, you will just start to reside in your present moment.